start a very busy day. We are on the way to a studio to shoot with world famous photographer Jeremy Cliff.
Did we end up bringing the GoJets?
Yes, we have those.
Sweet.
We've got those, we got rags, we got everything else to position.
Production challenges. White floor, dirty wheel.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, do a front 3/4 passenger side.
I just had to, if we get the ignition on to turn the wheel.
When you're shooting a car like this and light painting it, do you have a process you follow?
I've got a mental checklist of angles I like to do. And then as I kind of walk around the car, I'll start seeing certain ones. Like this car looked really cool from this kind of sharper front 3/4. You see like that fall off of the fender and stuff. I love this angle of it, so.
Set quarter button.
Yeah, we'll move it straight back towards that wall like a foot. Yeah, that should be good there.
What's up, bro? Wow. That is sick.
It's pretty cool under the light. I'm doing some light painting with it too, which looks even better.
It's crazy. It looks so good. So we have one of my favorite photographers in the world, Jeremy Cliff, here with us in Miami. And he's shooting in this incredible space, Diablo GT. And I think I've talked about this before because I had never actually seen a Diablo GT. Imagine, a lover of all vintage Lamborghinis. I'd never actually seen a Diablo GT growing up. That's because there were literally none in the US. There were 6 cars that were imported to the US years ago by Vic Colunian. And they were super, super rare, only 80 in the world. And I thought, what a perfect moment. We're in this perfect space, the lighting is perfect, and this is the perfect color for this car because it shows all the lines to just talk about how unique the Diablo GT is. It's funny, every time we bring one to a show or we have one in the showroom and someone that's never seen one sees it, they're like, what is that? So I think we have to start at the rear simply because there's just so much going on the rear of a Diablo GT. Now, there's a few things with this car. It doesn't have its original exhaust, but that's exactly where the placement would be. And this car was actually designed by Audi's, I should say Lamborghini's head designer, Luc Donkervoort at the time. There was actually a few renditions and he recently reached out to us and showed us what he was working with. But the biggest first thing that you see, now remember Diablo GT was first launched in 1999, so this is a precursor to the 6.0. It's based on the 6-liter engine and you see a lot of features that are identical to a 6-liter. So the taillights are different. A GT has the bare carbon fiber bezels here, has this grill here that's like a racing mesh, same with the grills here, and then obviously you see this massive carbon fiber diffuser. It goes all the way under here with this center exhaust. Then as we go up, and this is a very cool feature of the GT because, and we'll show you the engine, because of the engine, the way it's placed in the cockpit, you actually can't see out of the rear. So what they did was when they created the GT, they built this beautiful bare carbon fiber wing, almost identical to the SE30 wing, but the massive difference here is this is a factory mounted camera, very cool carbon fiber piece, and that is projected to a Clarion head unit in the cockpit. Now, next coolest feature of this car is in the engine bay. And what I love actually is if you look at the scoop here, it sort of works with the front hood, and we'll look at this. It actually is like the emblem of Lamborghini. So it's actually shaped like the Lamborghini shield. This is functional, this is carbon fiber rear hood. And look at the engine bay of the GT. This is a functional, completely functional independent throttle bodies We're talking 575 horsepower of the Diablo GT. This is two-wheel drive, which is also important to note. No other Diablos besides the GT or GTR were two-wheel drive at that point. The 6.0 has a VT badge, so that's four-wheel drive. The fenders are obviously different than the standard Diablos at the time. They have the race fuel filler on the GT. This lower rocker protrudes. You have the Diablo GT badge here, carbon rocker, bare carbon fiber here, and this fender, and this vent in the fender is one of the coolest features about the GT. Until you see it in person, you don't realize how wide the front is. These wheels look like SV wheels, and until recently, I actually thought they were the same wheels. But the GT wheel is completely different. It's actually a wider stagger. Same size in terms of if you were ordering tires, but the fascia is flat of the GT wheel. If you see the rear, and it sticks out just a little bit more, so it fills that wheel gap from what you would see on a standard SV. So these are specific to GT, these wheels. You have the NACA ducts here, and then this functional front, which we have to open up and show you guys. How cool is that? And this is actually, there's no front trunk. This is all carbon. This is functional. And this car would have had a carbon fiber briefcase in the holder, which is just so cool of these cars. And look at under the hood here. Everything is just built so well. Everything's bare carbon fiber, beautifully polished carbon fiber. And then you get to the front, look at the front bumper. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is all carbon fiber. Every component of this car is essentially carbon fiber, and that's just what makes it so cool. The last thing I've got to show you guys on the GT, carbon fiber door panels, carbon fiber center console, carbon fiber entranceways, and this is the modern 99 Diablo dash. The biggest difference is a unique steering wheel. The GT had two options essentially. You could get this steering wheel or an airbag steering wheel, or you could also get luxury seats. These have the racing seats, the Momo racing seats. These are factory seats. I love these seats. They're very comfortable. I'm not that tall, so it's perfect for me because I can see out of the car better. And you can see, if you look back here, there's nothing you can see out of the rear. So that's why you must have that camera in the GT. And these cars are just so radical. They don't have the front lift, which came standard on all the other Diablos, so it's much lighter in the front. They're obviously rear-wheel drive, and you just feel how nimble they are, how quick they are, how angry sounding they are. You know, when you're talking about supercars and you think of this as a purpose-built one of 80 for the world, absolutely perfect fit and finish. This is like Carrera GT standard fit and finish. The fact that these cars still trade between 1 million and 1.6 million seems almost absurd. I think this is, one day we'll be talking about a Diablo GT between $2, $3, $4, $5 million. Essentially is a Lamborghini's homologation race car for the street. So absolutely perfect. It's really an honor to share my passion for these cars with you guys. I am so excited to see Jeremy's photos of this car. He's shooting a ton of really interesting cars today, but I had to sort of show you guys. I thought it was a perfect moment to show you all the details under this lighting. It just really stands out on the GT.
Do you typically shoot in a studio environment or more outdoor?
Yeah, lately it's been a good mix. I really enjoy the studio environment though. When I get the chance to work in a studio like this, just creating light, you know, creating a scene with light, that's one of my favorite things. Using one light, just kind of like, just making something different, making something fun, really creating something. The flat panels of this are a little more challenging than some of the curves of the Diablo, but it's coming along. Silver is also a hard color. It takes light weird and it blends things weird, where that yellow just kind of took light and just spread, and it was beautiful. So the silver is just a little bit more different, a little bit different.
Today is day 2 of the shoot. We still have the SE30 Yoda. This is one of the factory 19 cars that were ever fitted with the legendary Yoda kit. One of the distinctive ways to tell is the roof scoop that was later featured on the SE30, but absolutely insane car to drive on the street. Not very happy under low speeds, but makes a great sound.
It's good. Stuff looked good. Clicked through it last night a little bit. Take some puzzling together. It'll be fun. I really enjoy that puzzle aspect to it all. Same with the strobe work. It's just a really fun. You can just create. You know, it's just like you just create light, and then in post you can just create whatever image you want. 4 or 5 different images, different styles. Like really play with the lines and the light and stuff. It's good, especially on a car like this, dude. Some of them are like this beautiful highlight down this, and then the side just falls to black.
So cool feature on the EB110 SS are these fixed kind of tie downs, if you will. This is one of the unique features on the SS versus the standard car, but this is actually where the front battery is.
Passenger side 3/4. Yeah, it's been fun just kind of using the existing light and bracketing it a little more, so getting that full range, underexposed to overexposed, and we'll plan on blending them on the back end a little bit, get that nice high key look. Been able to move a little faster today. I really love this angle of the car. The wheel, the scoops, this vent, that, like this funky little arch here. Finish up the passenger side, move into the interior. I think do an engine bay shot or two.
Alright, so we're moving on to our last car of the day, the Countach featured in the Wolf of Wall Street. We're going to be cutting it close to the end of the day, but let's see. Should be good.
Five cars, 2 days in the studio. I'm tired. Kind of want to lean into, like the last one we did dark, right? So we let the white car pop out in the dark background, but I kind of want to try and do a high key look and do a couple of test images and see what happens. So we'll see if we can get some sort of separation with the car. Like a stop down from that, right? But used like a background like this. Like this is a little too dark. It's a little too bright. You kind of blend the two of them and do that white. Like the whites are different enough. Like I think it could work. Like there's enough shadow play and stuff on because of the lines of the car. The good thing about this car is it's got so many angles on it. It hides light, so it gives it shape no matter how much. The work after the work, just ingesting all the cards and sorting everything, backing everything up, and 235 gigs today. Sit down and just, really just piece over them one by one, just figure out which one is gonna fit the style I'm after. I shot the side profile with a certain vision in mind, so I'll go through that and figure out which frame is going to give me that vision, which piece of the ground is going to work the best, which piece of the wheel is going to work the best, which piece of that highlight for that beautiful sideline is going to work the best. That's actually the fun part for me. I actually really enjoy the retouching process. And sometimes, I shot 5,000 frames, but I'm not going to use all that. I did a lot of bracketing on this one, you know, to go with that high key look that we were after. Even though I shot like 30 or 40 images per angle on some of these things, I'll probably only use 4 to 5. But I shoot so much extra just in case. It's like, hey, we want to do a super dramatic one where it's like just the silhouette. Like, cool, I got that. Just the front lit, let it fall off to black on the back end. Like, cool, we could do that. You know, we could do a 3 to 5 styles of image per frame. Yeah, we got good stuff. I'm excited to dive into it all. I am toast, man. I'm exhausted. 5 cars in the studio. Got a one-man bandit. It was a lot.